My name is Carolina Aramburo, and in this video what I want to talk to you about is I want to give us, you and I, a chance to consider a different part of our well-being, an interesting part of our health and well-being that most of us don't pay that much attention to. And before we start the conversation, if you haven't watched my first two videos, Health Proposal 1 and Health Proposal 2, please take a moment to pause this video and go ahead and watch them. It will make way more sense and you will have way more of a context if you watch those two videos. And by the way, all my videos are free, so if you want to watch them all, that will be quite an honor. Now, also, what I'm going to talk to you about in this video is very short. So to read the full articles about this subject, please go to the fan page. My fan page is free, so if you click on the link, you will be right there and you can read all the articles related to this topic. And by the way, the fan page is free too. So there is nothing that I'm selling you on. I'm not selling you on anything. I'm committed to make a difference. A lot of people are making a difference for me in learning about health. I want to make a difference for you, contributing what I have learned. And also, the way that you can make a difference for me is just giving me your feedback. That's all I want. Now, all that said, let's look at this interesting part of our health that I'm calling it the health of our brain, the health of our mind. It's very, very often overlooked, I found. I have made that mistake myself. You know, you and I sometimes are used to thinking that our mental capacity is what it is. And that sometimes it diminishes because we're tired, exhausted, or sick, or because the years are going by. I am very shameless about my age. You don't have to guess, I'm 41 years old. Now, I do have friends of mine, they are exactly the same age as I am, and they're already having conversations about, I'm not that young anymore. I don't have those conversations. I am out to make sure I can be as young as I can for as long as I can. So, here's a couple of suggestions of mine. Here's a couple of things I have learned. Our mental capacity is not really just a set capacity. And by the way, I'm not a doctor, so what I'm sharing with you is things that I have learned, and you can read the articles, you can read the books. There's many things you can read, like for example, I find fascinating and very, very valuable all the work that there has been done, and there's many doctors, you can find the articles in the fan page, as I said, about neuroscience. There's books about neuroscience and they are fascinating, and also if you try on all the exercises that they suggest, they're also very effective. So if you look at the capacity of your mind, your brain, and you consider that it's not a set capacity, there is many things that you can do to help yourself. For example, there's many memory exercises that you can do to improve your memory. There is many exercises that you can do for concentration, to improve your concentration, your mental concentration and your mental capacity. There's very simple things that you can do to make sure your brain is being taken care of as a very, even maybe one of the most important parts of your body. For example, sometimes you and I, when, I don't know about you, but working in one thing only, like I used to work in one thing only, I would forget that there is all these other topics that I could be putting my mental effort into. You know, like sometimes, for example, if you are an architect, which is fascinating, right? But if you only read about architecture, it doesn't give your brain, your mind, the chance to open up and exercise many of the parts of your brain. So for example, it makes a difference to read about very different subjects, to read things that you would normally not read. You know, some of us just read whatever book we're called into reading, whatever we find affinity with. But try on reading books that you would not necessarily pick, that you wouldn't read. They're not kind of like your style, like we say. Try doing mental exercises. There's many out there. Try learning about your brain patterns so that you can support yourself to stay as present as you can. There's a very simple exercise that one of my friends, a very brilliant friend of mine taught me is this exercise that is changing things in your environment that allow you to go back to be present as much as possible. For example, if you wear a ring and certain finger, like changing that ring to another finger. If you wear your watch in one hand, to change it to another watch, to another hand, to shift things around in your office, shift things around in your house, so that it's not what it always is, that your mind doesn't have a chance to go on automatic as much as possible. A friend of mine also taught me this very simple technique that makes a huge difference, is setting up very light, friendly alarms, not the kind of alarm that has you be stressed, but the kind of gentle alarm that during the day you'll go in different times, not exact, not every half an hour, not every hour, but random times that you set to bring you back to be present. The least automatic time that your mind has, the most creative it can be. So I highly recommend research, read, learn. Give yourself the chance to use your mind, use your brain to the full capacity. You deserve it deserves it, and why not? Most of us say that we all know that we're not using our full potential as a human being, and most of us think a lot of it is in our brain. So why not give ourselves the chance to explore and see how we can use as much as possible of our potential. Thank you so much for this opportunity, and please take a moment to leave me your comments, your feedback, either below the video or in the fan page.